Hi guys, welcome to my top 5 favourite movies video. Now, I don't usually do anything to do with films or things. This is a bit of a funny one, but I'm getting older now and I like to talk and ramble about my memories. And yeah, everybody's got favourite movies, and I think I've got a good mix and a good range, and there's not really very many classic films in there because I'm probably a bit too simple for picking films like that, and you'll probably see why when you hear me top 5. But let's jump straight in. Number 5 is, it's probably going to sound like an odd one, but it's a Tom Cruise movie, and it is The Last Samurai, a 2002, 2003 movie, maybe a bit later than that. What can I say about this one? I mean, I've always had this thing for Japan. I mean, I went to Tokyo years ago because of this. I always wanted to see the place, and this is years before I'd even gone, but I was always interested in the culture and the background and stuff. And this film, although it was set more in like 100 odd years ago, it was just perfect for the time because it was all about the downfall of the samurai and how the culture was adjusting and changing over to Western interference and things. And then mixing that, you've got all like the sword combat and stuff, and the katanas and all that, and I just love that sort of stuff and the whole history behind it and where it was going, and it just blew me away. And I've never really been Tom Cruise's biggest fan or anything, but this is just a really good role. He plays it really well. I mean, there's battles throughout it. There's lots of calm and serene moments, and there's the whole thing, living through a Japanese winter up in the mountains, and you get to see all that, and then seeing how a family lives and develops over time and stuff. And I remember sitting at time just thinking, it just doesn't go on long enough. But a film should be an experience for the viewer. I mean, it should draw you in and entice you and make you more interested in the surroundings. I mean, it shouldn't just be you can sit there and cabbage out. But I mean, Last Samurai just gets it so perfectly. It's not the perfect movie. It does have its problems, and I'm sure there's better. But for me, that's one of my favourite films. Right, moving on to number 4. Again, this is how a bit daft I am, but The Goonies. I mean, I love that film to death. It's so funny. I'm sure everybody has seen it, but it's just the perfect 80s kids film. It's so funny. Still holds up today. It's got the whole like Indiana Jones style wonder of exploration and then fun, and then the kids doing crazy things. Who can forget like the water slides and the pirate ship, and then Sloth. Sloth was awesome. So it was just a really fun, entertaining film. The music was right. It had Spielberg was involved. It was just a great. I hope they never do a sequel. There's always talk about it, but I don't want them to return for it because it's fine. It should be left alone. But yeah, what can I say? Number 3 is this was a tough one to pick because it's part of a trilogy, and it is Back to the Future 2. Why did I pick this over the first one, which people generally think is better? I would agree with that. 2 is more of a competent film in that way, but I think 2 is just fantastic. The way it deals with the future and then the present and the future, and then nips back and all the alternative realities and things, and it explains, for a film, it explains the time travel element so well, so entertaining. It always draws you back in, and I just love it. And the whole dystopian view of the future, and the way it's all going, and it just has so many good moments. I mean, flying cars, come on, where are flying cars now at this point? We should have them by now. Or hoverboards. Well, we've sort of got them hover scooter things or whatever they are, but they're not the same, they're on wheels. But yeah, Back to the Future is such a great film. I always watch the trilogy through, but it's the one that stands out in my mind. I could have picked one of the others, but 2's my favourite. Then yeah, speaking of 2, on to number 2. This is a Western, and it's Clint Eastwood Western, and it is The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Now, what can I say about this film? It is a proper epic Western. I mean, it's 2.5 to 3 hours long. It's long and it's slow, but it's entertaining. It's humorous. It's got action in and adventure. It's just brilliant. I mean, it's the 3rd one in the spaghetti Western trilogy, and the last. And it's basically Clint Eastwood playing the same character, the guy with the you know, there's the blanket over his, I forget what it's, I can't even remember what it's called, but that thing, and the chewing the tobacco and the cigar, and the way his character is, and the standoffs at the end, and just the way the Eli Wallace and all the way the characters interact with each other. And you have like, there's moments at the beginning where, you know, he's the bad one, and he no, is he the bad, or he's the ugly one? They see I mixed them up, but it's basically it's the one that has the bath. He seems to be the youngest of the group, but he's always getting in trouble, and they basically go off together and team up, and basically he gets caught, so Clint brings him in, gets the bounty for him, and then they go to hang him, but Clint's such a good shot that from a distance he'll shoot the rope, he'll fall down, and the horse that they usually sat on to do this will fly off and take him away. And at one point, you know, it all goes wrong, which is just wonderful. It's just one of them moments. But there's a part of the film where he's bringing him in, Clint's bringing him in, and he's swearing calling him all names under the sun. But it's just so funny. And then he splits on Clint Eastwood, and like Clint's just like, you're going too far, sort of thing, and then just gives him a god awful kick. It's just brilliant. That's in the first 10 or 15 minutes, but they're just brilliant characters. It's an awesome film. It really is an experience. I'd say go and watch it. You'd love it to bits. And now number one, and this is my all-time favourite film, and it is Shawshank Redemption. I don't really know what can you say about this. I mean, it's probably Morgan Freeman's best film. You know, how the way he plays Red and the way they draw you into the world, and you really feel for Andy as he's going through his experience of Biv. You know, he's innocent, he's not done the murders, sorry. And then the bad stuff he has to go through, and the way he redeems himself, and then the way the whole prison system is so rotten, and then the warden's in all this. Am I spoiling this film? You must have seen it by now because it's so good. And then the way he redeems himself at the end, and he comes out of it, and he bursts from that pipe of poop, and he's just, the rain just washes it all away. All his sins, all his problems are just gone, and you get that awesome ending where the two of them meet up on the beach, and oh god, it's such an experience. It draws you in. It makes you part of that world. You want more from the film. You wish it was longer. You wish it was more involving. But it's already fantastic as it is. It was a bit of a flop when it came out, but it's become a cult classic since. It's so well deserved. It's such a good film. Go and watch it. Well, guys, that's my top 5 favourite films. I mean, there's plenty out there, for God's sake. Yeah, post some below. What do you like? Do you agree with me on the ones I've picked, or what would you pick above me? By all means, guys, post below and I'll reply. As always, thanks for watching. Please look forward to another video soon.